from Patti Finnegan's on the campus of Oakland University. He is the coach, Greg Kampe. My name is Neil Rule. Bobby Ellman back in our Odyssey studios. And Camp, I'd ask you how you're doing, but you got a sweep in Wisconsin, so I knew you're doing just fine.
Yeah, we needed it. We were here last week talking about, I couldn't remember last week if it was one or two times that we had swept Wisconsin in our 13 years in the league. And normally the team that does that ends up winning a championship. The year we won our first Horizon League championship, we swept it. The Townsend's year, we didn't. We won in Milwaukee, lost at Green Bay. That's how hard it is on this trip, and nobody's done it yet this year, so that puts us a game up on everybody, maybe two. Northern Kentucky went up there, they beat Milwaukee, they lost to Green Bay. Wright State hasn't gone up yet. Fort Wayne went up there, and they split. And, those are the top of the league right now. So, if Wright State goes up there and splits or loses two, that puts us in a really, really good situation. So it was a big weekend for us. Our kids played really well. Our defense was the best it's been all year. We made a little tweak in our personnel on where we put people. Our coaching staff made that decision, and it turned out to be a really good decision so far. But we went on the road and played two games where we held the other team to less than a point of possession. And we are scoring the ball at 1.25 points per possession, which is, that's probably either the best in our history or the second.
Right.
We've led the nation in scoring two or three times in the years I've been here. And this points per possession is probably the highest or right around the highest that we've ever had. It's interesting because going up to Wisconsin, we have this company that does all the analytics, and we get way too much information. But they came back yesterday's after the game. They said that we had gone, when we went up to Wisconsin, we were first in the league in offense and eighth in the league defensively. After the Wisconsin trip, we're now first in the league in offense and second in the league in defense. That's what a big swing that we had defensively.
No, it was big, no doubt about that. Packed house here at Patti Finnegan's, by the way, on a very, very chilly day, so we appreciate everybody showing up. If you want to get involved in the show, you can. On Twitter, X, whatever you call it, send a tweet with the hashtag AskCampe. If you're streaming it on the Golden Grizzlies YouTube channel, you can go ahead and drop a question for Camp. We'll get to those about 6:30. Keisha Newell will be our guest here today. Of course, the head coach of the women's basketball team. Big win over Detroit Mercy. That's right. That's right.
She's 1-0 in the Metro Cup.
Absolutely. So we will talk to Keisha coming up in just a little bit. But, Camp, let's back it up to Milwaukee. And again, the book on Milwaukee, they were a bit banged up. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, you can't.
Right.
It was not the Milwaukee team that was picked to win the league. They have four starters that are gone. And, we had that Kendrick Nunn last year, the year Kendrick Nunn played. We opened our exhibition season, beat a MAC team by 25, 30 points. And I walked off the floor that day thinking this could be the best team I ever had because that was a good MAC team that we beat. And Brad Brechting broke his foot. Braylon Neely, our point guard, suffered a knee injury, was out for the season. And then Martez Walker, first-team All-League player, broke his fifth metatarsal 3 weeks before this. We lost 5 of our top 7 guys, and we all remember that year. You got that greatest player, one of the greatest players we've ever had, and we were a different team. And that's what happened to Milwaukee. And I sent their coach a text afterwards, and just told him, I said, we recognize what's going on. I thought your team played really hard and did pretty well for where they're at. They're hoping to get at least one guy back. I think that's probably all they'll get back. Maybe 2, but 1 for sure. And they'll be good at the end of the year, and hopefully they can, beat some teams at home, like Wright State, not to go up there. So, you still got to play, and we did. We defended extremely well. We made big shots. We made our free throws. And then, we had a double-digit lead, and we were able to hang on to it. So It was a really, really good win. And this is this is where the schedule we played, I think, is really helping us. We go into those places, and we're not going to see things we haven't seen. And Milwaukee was a really good rebounding team, but they're not as good rebounding team as Houston or Michigan State. So when you can compete against those teams, you can talk, and that doesn't mean you're going to win them all, or the schedule's not the reason you're winning, but it gives you a confidence as a coaching staff. It gives you a confidence as a player that you can win those games. The other thing the schedule's done for us is if you look at the numbers, the statistics of what's going on, right now in the RPI, we're ranked 51st in the country. Wright State, who's beaten us twice and is one game ahead of us in the league, is ranked, I think, 94th or 95th. In the net, we're ranked 111. Wright State's ranked 115. In the RPI, Miami of Ohio is 19-0, and they're 60.
Right.
We're 51. So why are those numbers important? Well, the last time we had a team that was ended the season RPI in the 50s, we were a 13 seed in the NCAA tournament. It's a lot easier to win on the 13 seed line than it is on the 14, the 15, or the 16. And so that's what that schedule's done for us. Now, we've still got a lot of work to do. We're in second place. We can't be sitting here thinking about, who are we going to get in the NCAA tournament?
Right.
But that's what that schedule did for us, and that's as we go through this and look at what's going on, we're in a really good position. That if we are able to figure it out, defend, win the tournament, we're going to have a pretty good seed in the NCAA tournament. So we got to continue to do what we're doing and understand when you question, people want to know, why do you play that schedule? This is why.
Kampe, in the game in Milwaukee as well, came out, and Mike Hogue just went to work, and we got him the basketball. And, from the post position, he was able to go on one of those scoring runs that really put us – you can't win a game, obviously, in the first 5 or 6 minutes, but you can put yourself in a pretty good spot to win the game. And that's what we did, and we came out and really went to work in the interior.
Well, he's done that 3 or 4 times.
Right.
For us, where he's just dominated the first 10 or 15 minutes of the game, and I don't know what causes it or why. Is it something he ate before the game or something? But we need him to eat that more. It's funny because he didn't, he's been injured and he didn't want to tape his ankle, and Bree, I think she had enough and said, "Fine, don't." And then he went out there and scored the first 11 or 12 points. And I said to her after a game, maybe he shouldn't tape his ankle. I don't know. Who knows with that young man? He's an interesting character, and he really, really had a good trip up there. And he did not. The ball didn't go in for him in the Green. It's interesting because early in the Green Bay game, Baru missed 2 free throws, and he only scored 4 points on Thursday. He had 10 rebounds on Thursday, but he only scored 4 points and got fouled early and missed 2 free throws, and I was kind of angry about it, and I turned around and looked at Smitty, and I said, when's he going to go off? And about 20 minutes later, Smitty just looked at me and said, I think you got your question answered right here. I mean,
he did.
He was so good. And, you have different players doing that on – it's interesting. If you were to come in and be with us in our pregame, practice, okay, we play tomorrow, but Thursday's practice, we have a film session with the team, and we start the film session off. We take either their last 4 games, or Jeff's a big believer in the last 4 games. I'm more of an 8-game guy, but we look at we pick and choose stats, all right. And if you look at the league stats on almost every team we play, as we prep for the team, the guy up here will have 35 more shots than anybody else on the team. And then the next guy will have 20 more shots than anybody, because they list the stat sheet, the leading scorer on top, they list it by scoring. And usually the first guy, no matter who we're playing, the first guy is 50 shots more than anybody else. You look at our 10-game, 9-game league stat sheet, and you've got Brody at maybe 85 shots. Then you've got Isaac at maybe 84 shots. You've got Hogue at 82 shots, Baru at 80 shots. We have a very, very balanced team, not just scoring, but who's getting the opportunities, the amount of shots that we take. I did a podcast today with the Horizon League, and they were talking about Brody having a point guard that leads you in scoring and assists and how unusual that is. And I explained to him that it's really not that unusual because Brody gets his points not by getting too many shots, but he gets the free throw line so much, right? He's like third in the country in getting free throws. So Brody scores his points from the line. Now, he's had a lot of games where he's had 16 points and only made 3 baskets because he had 12 free throws and things like that. So when you have that type of balance in your offense, it's why we're averaging 1.25 points per possession, why we lead the league in offense, because we don't rely on Trey Townsend to get us 32 or Jack Golke to have a great shooting night. It doesn't matter. We never know on that night who's going to go off and who's going to do what we need to do. And you've got a backup point guard that's getting a lot better. Part of him getting a lot better is I'm playing him more and giving him more of an opportunity. A lot of JUCO guys, they need playing time. They just don't. Isaac Garrett's very rare that a point guard or that a junior college player just steps in and plays well. Usually it takes time. And, excuse me, for Coy, it's taken time. And I didn't give him a lot of time early. And he's starting to get more and more. And tomorrow night against that press, you're going to see him a lot. We're going to play the two of them together against that press a lot. And he's getting better and better. And there's another guy out there that can distribute the ball and get it to the right places. We're only going to even get better offensively, in my mind, as he gets better. Losing Nassim really hurt us because not only was he, that outside threat, that Golke, that Bader, that guy that we've had, he was also understood the defense better, which is taking some time for Brett and those guys and Zaire to learn that. But he was also kind of really instrumental in our offense. In most instances, he set the key screen in most of our set plays. You want your guy that they're going to guard and face check, or they're not going to leave. He's the great shooter, so you can't leave that guy, right? You want that guy setting the majority of the screens and then working off that screen how they play it, getting him shots or getting. And Nassim did that, and he understood it. And that's been one issue for us, trying to get, find that guy that can do that, because we haven't found that yet. So that's why I'm excited about our offense, because I think we'll find it. I think Coy's really, really getting better and going to make us better, and then we can score at any position. So that was a long answer to something about Milwaukee. I can't remember what the question was.
Well, then let's talk about Green Bay.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. You brought up Baru, 26 points, had 10 rebounds, 2 assists, a block, 2 steals. Literally did everything. And then you pair that up with Isaac Garrett, who probably had the quietest 17 points, 10 rebounds, 8 of 12 shooting a game you're ever going to see. It kind of played that way. It kind of played quiet, but that's IG, man, just backing up what you just said. And, Camp, it always seems like there's going to be 2 of the 3 in the front court that are going to eat, man, and they ate a lot on Sunday.
Yeah, and I think what Baru was spectacular. He made threes. He got offensive rebounds. He dunked the ball. He ripped through and took people to the rim with him. He shot probably 10 free throws, which is the most he shot all. He didn't make very many of them, unfortunately. He'd have a 30-point game if he'd shot his normal. It's interesting. We have a game every 4th or 5th game that we don't shoot well from the free throw line, and it hasn't hurt us yet. We've still been able to win those games. We're a really, really good free throw shooting team, and then we have those. But he'd have 30 points if he'd have shot, 80% like he should shoot it. But he did spectacular things where Isaac just cleaned everything up. Run a set play, get it to him, got a dunk, offensive rebound, put back. Just solid. They made a run. We lost their shooter 13, I forget, Hall. We lost him a couple times. We're up 30-19. We lost him. He went bang, bang, hit 2 threes. They cut it to 3, and Isaac caught the ball at the top of at the free throw line against their zone and got an and one. Just solid plays when we need them. And we've done that all year, especially in league play when things are going bad. we've had a lead and somebody's making a run at us, some player steps up and makes plays.
Camp, I'd be remiss if I didn't bring it up, too. We went bowling on this trip, and there are no official statistics behind this, but I feel like we're undefeated in the history of Oakland basketball on trips where we go bowling. And
really?
I believe that is the case. Is that the official numbers?
What? Oh, you had to kill the show.
So in the regular season, we're undefeated. Thanks, Colin. Appreciate it.
He's sitting in the front row, too.
Yeah, of course, yeah. So in the regular season...
So the answer is no.
Yeah, but in the regular season, we are undefeated when we go bowling. I
What
just
did
wanted
you
to bring
bowl?
it up, Camp. 135, I think, was the high game.
Brett White was the best, right? Oh, no.
He said he was the best.
I had the high score, that's right.
You did. Which was a big upset.
70-year-old man out bowling all of Jesus.
But Camp,
how did we win in basketball?
That's a great question. Camp, it's the guys have so much fun. It is so much fun. We get in there, we talk trash to each other, we boo each other, stuff like that. It is a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, it's an interesting sport to have that much fun into because it's really, I don't consider it a sport, but they think they're great at it, so. I mean, Mike came in here. Remember when Mike Hogue was here and he told you how great he was? I think he bowled 92 or something like that.
What is it about bowling? It can make some of the world's best athletes very much look not like the world's best athletes. What is it about bowling?
I think really you're supposed to have a beer in your hand or something when you're doing
nachos
it.
or something?
Yeah, eating nachos or
All right,
something.
that's
I
fair.
don't know. We weren't doing any of that, trust me.
No, we weren't. All right, Camp, let's take the first break of the show. When we come back, Keisha Newell will join us, the head coach of the women's basketball team. Big win in the Metro Series. We'll discuss that when we return. This is the Greg Kampe Show. We're live at Patti Finnegan's on the campus of Oakland University.
In every moment, in every shared smile, OU Credit Union Visa Signature Card is there, earning 3% cash back on groceries to stock their dorm room, 2% back on fueling up the tank for the journey ahead. With a $100 welcome offer and the first year's annual fee waived, it's more than just a card. It's your partner in making every moment count, even the ones that tug at your heartstrings. Make every moment and every mile more rewarding with an OU Credit Union Visa Signature Card.
Oakland University. My name is Neil Rule, the voice of the Golden Grizzlies. Happy to have you with us. If you want to get involved with the show, go to Twitter, X, whatever you call it. Drop a question with the hashtag AskCampe. If you're watching on the YouTube stream, you can drop your questions in there as well. But right now, as promised, we are joined by Keisha Newell, the head coach of the women's basketball team here at Oakland University. And Keisha, when you beat Detroit Mercy, you get a big hand like that. How are you?
Thank you. Doing really well. Thank you.
I bet you are. But Keisha, when you walked in the door here, just backing up to what was most recent, you guys got that win 80-70 in a game that was back and forth. I was updating the score during the broadcast of the game in Green Bay, a game that really was anybody's basketball game, but in the fourth quarter, you guys were able to close it down and get the win.
Yeah, it was huge to be able to finish a game the way we did and come out with a double-digit win. So similar to camp, we've been playing tough competition all year. So to be able to beat a team by 10 on the road is amazing, especially coming off of a 20-point win against Milwaukee. So I'm excited. We are getting better every single day, and I'm just looking forward to the future.
Mackenzie popped off in the game, no doubt about it, 25 points on the road at Detroit Mercy in a big, big game. Talk about Mackenzie, what she's brought to the table, because I know the answer is a lot. I know that.
She's a freshman, by the way.
Really?
So, yeah, just super excited. Nope. She's grown so much as a player, as a person, as a leader. She does it all. She is a phenomenal facilitator at the point guard position. She can shoot it, and I think her best attribute is on the defensive end. So she causes so much havoc, and we rely on her. So it's amazing. You know, we'll live with some of the turnovers as a freshman, right? But she creates so much for other people that she's doing a phenomenal job.
You know, it's funny, Keisha. I talk about that sometimes. My friends, we're talking basketball, and people will talk about turnovers in the NBA, and I'm like, well, you know who leads the league in turnovers every year? Like LeBron, Luka. You know, your best player. I mean, because they have the ball in their hand the most, right? It's something that's going to happen.
Absolutely, yeah. We'll take them for sure.
We put her in 25. Yeah, you can turn it over a couple times.
Go.
There is no doubt about that. That game in particular, Keisha, because you brought it up. You guys got into the 80s in that game. In your background, obviously, you know, you are somebody, you and I have talked in the past, you want to go, you want to score points, and you guys are really starting to put that together.
We are, yep, and it starts on the defensive end. So if we are taking the ball out of bounds, if there's on us, it's hard to get in transition by taking the ball out. So we preach and emphasize every single day stops to scores. So we want to work hard on the defensive end and give them a little bit of freedom on the offensive end.
Well, we're right in the middle of Horizon League play, Keisha. Now, you're a little unique in terms of this position because you played in the Horizon League. You played at Loyola Chicago. You coached there as well, and now you're back here coaching in the Horizon League here at Oakland. What are some of the differences? How has the Horizon League changed in terms of when you were a player, you coached there, you go away for a little bit, now you come back, and now you're a head coach in the Horizon League? How is it different? How is it the same? I guess that's a multiple-layer question.
Yeah, let's start with the same. I mean, Green Bay was good back then. They're good right now, so nothing's changed that way. It was pretty cool. So at Detroit Mercy, I got the opportunity to tell the team right before the game that my collegiate career ended in this gym. So they beat us in the Horizon League tournament my senior year, and I think the team kind of rallied around that to be able to give me a better memory walking out of that gym. So that was special. But it's been cool going back to all of the same arenas that I played in, and I pull up some stat sheets and some articles every now and then. Oh, for sure. But yeah, no, it's been fun. It's still competitive. It's a great league. I think just the administration does a great job of getting these cities out there, and I think it's an amazing league, super competitive.
Keisha, about that with Detroit Mercy and the Metro Series, like you can sense the physiology in the room, like for that. You're not here, no, but I mean it is big here. It is. It's one of those things, and I've always talked about it. Like people know like the big football rivalries, right? The Michigan Ohio State or basketball, like Michigan State. As a student, I went here to Oakland as a student, and for Oakland to have one of those matchups with Detroit Mercy, like. Me, the student, me, the alum, it's big to me, let alone being a part of the athletic department. But it's big. And Keisha, like for me, I want to beat them every single time at every single sport by 100 million, trillion, billion points. Like that's the way I feel about it. Like it's real. And I mean, I would imagine it didn't take you long to get on that wavelength.
Not at all. Not at all. Social media, our players, I mean, everyone hates Detroit Mercy, and I get it. I thoroughly understand it right now.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Keisha, as we talked about, you guys have won a couple in a row. Obviously, you got to win over Milwaukee. You've kind of stabilized your footing in the Horizon League table. And when you look at it, just in terms of the standings of where you guys sit, there is a big bunch. And we talked about Green Bay. I was just in that gym. I saw those banners. Usually, you have one side of banners in a gym. They go all the way around for that program, and they're 10-0 right now. But you guys will get another look at them before the season's over. But when you look at it, where you guys are sitting right now in the mix between second and all the way down to 8th in the Horizon League. There's some room to move.
For sure. And we've quietly crept up, as the season has progressed, and that's what we want to do. We don't want to get too high when we win a game. We don't want to get too low when we lose one. We just want to stay in the middle and just keep getting better every single day.
Keisha, having a family like you do, how do you do that balance, I guess you could say, because you have a very demanding job, very demanding job. In athletics, anybody that works, in this room, they understand the demands. How do you balance it? I'm always looking for tips, I guess you could say.
No,
so
for sure.
What do you have for me, Keisha? What's your cheat code?
I think I moved away from balance and more towards alignment. I think my family understands. They gets it. My husband, he played professionally. He played in college. He understands the grind. My kids benefit from being around our team. They have 15 built-in big sisters every single year. Our staff is amazing. They do an amazing job. They're here right now. So just, the recruiting side of things, they take care of that stuff. And I think it's important that you have a good team around you. But my husband is amazing. My children are amazing. And I think they get it, and they let me grind it out during the season, but they're around as much as possible at practices and stuff too. So they mean everything to me. I want to make sure I'm the best mom, the best wife, and the best coach,
Keisha, what do you, yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
For that 3 weeks that you get off during the summer.
Is it 3?
Yeah. 1 week at a time,
Okay,
spread out
gotcha.
over a couple months. What do you like off the court, Keisha? What are you watch a Netflix show? You try to go out camping? Like what do you do?
I'm competitive, so I just want to play something at all times. You can ask the staff. If we're tying our shoes, I want to beat you. So our family is active. We do whatever it is that we can compete. We play cards. We hang out. We love Florida, so we get out there and enjoy the weather. But, I'm chill for the most part. Just as long as I'm around my family, I'm good.
Now, that is good. Quick story. Keisha and I threw the first pitch out at USPBL game up at Jimmy John's Field, now soon to be UWM. Keisha delivered a strike. I did not. I missed the strike zone. So you were super competitive about that, and you won. So there you go, Keisha. I just wanted to bring that out to the people.
Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, absolutely. Split the plate, too. Split the plate. I missed inside. You were right there.
And I will beat Coach Kampe in bowling, too, just a heads up. Where is he?
Oh. Straight up. All right. We'll have to do a show from the bowling alley.
Yeah, I'm not getting invited back after that one. Sorry.
Well, any final words, Keisha? Your last appearance on the Greg Kampe Show?
Thank you, Coach Kampe. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Keisha, we appreciate the time. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Keisha Newell, everybody. We'll be back with more of the Greg Kampe Show. If you want to get your questions in with the hashtag AskKampe, do that on Twitter, on X. We're live at Patti Finnegan's at the Oakland University Golf and Learning Center.
In every moment, in every shared smile, OU Credit Union Visa Signature Card is there, earning 3% cash back on groceries to stock their dorm room, 2% back on fueling up the tank for the journey ahead. With a $100 welcome offer and the first year's annual fee waived, it's more than just a card. It's your partner in making every moment count, even the ones that tug at your heartstrings. Make every moment and every mile more rewarding with an OU Credit Union Visa Signature Card.
Because every athlete deserves to be treated like a pro. Henry Ford Sports Medicine.
Welcome back to the Greg Kampe Show. We're live at Patti Finnegan's here at the Oakland University Golf and Learning Center on the Oakland University campus. He is a Coach Greg Kampe. My name is Neil Rule. The Greg Kampe Show brought to you by Henry Ford Sports Medicine, the official team physicians for Oakland University and you. For more info, visit henryford.com/ athlete. Camp, you ready to, well, first off, the bowling challenge that was just dropped on you right there. Camp, your thoughts?
My thoughts are the same as Mike Hogue. We heard what he said. He bowled 92. I think he lost by 100 to me.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, maybe she...
We'll definitely have to get that figured out.
Maybe she will want the bumpers out, too. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Okay, here we go. If you want to get involved with the show, now is the time to do it. Camp, you ready to rock for some questions on X, Twitter?
Sure.
All right. Pittsburgh Marty leading things off says, great job last weekend. We enjoyed watching from Pittsburgh. I know the team has been on some interesting road trips in your 42 years. The annual Milwaukee-Green Bay trip, the Montana trip, Boise, Hawaii, Alaska. Where are the most and least fun road trips you've taken in 42 years?
Wow. Our road trips are defined by what goes wrong. And there's a lot that goes wrong on these trips that Colin usually gets stuck with. And this one, there were some weird stuff that went down on this one too. But, the most interesting one of all the years was 2005 when we were flying to the Summit League Championship. And
it was in Tulsa at that time.
It was in Tulsa. And we almost didn't get on the plane because this was, I think, one of the conflicts, the Iraqi War, one of the conflicts had happened, and they were letting military personnel on the plane and displacing people. And I was like, I'm all for the military, I'm all for everything, but we got to play. we got a game. We don't get out there, it's going to be hard for us to play the game. And so I think 2 or 3 people got displaced and didn't go, and we turned it into maybe managers and people like that, But we made sure the team got on. I got on. I probably told Smitty he couldn't come. So when we get there, they didn't have our equipment. We didn't have our uniforms. We didn't have shoes. We didn't have our practice stuff. And so we were kind of in a panic. So we were out going to Dick's, trying to find shoes, And, of course, Ron Marshall, I ain't wearing no shoes. I didn't have to have Nike. I got, I'm glad we got him Nike because he really played good in that tournament.
It's true.
So, the total panic of that. And then the stuff showed up the day of the game. I think we played at 5 or 6 that evening, and it showed up at like 2 o'clock or something like that.
Wow.
And so the bad is we didn't have much money in those days, and we just spent hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars on shoes and practice stuff and all that kind of stuff. And we didn't know what uniforms we were going to wear. So we went out and I think we bought mesh practice, black and white mesh practice stuff that we were, had numbers on it. We were going to wear that in a game. It was crazy. And it all showed up. And as the 7th seed, we went on and won the tournament. And, the first time Oakland ever went to the Pierre Dukes' shot and national TV. We won the play-in game, and and it all on that plane flight. I guess because we let the military on, the basketball gods said, "Yeah, go ahead and win."
What about the least favorite, least fun? I guess you could say.
My least favorite place to go was the South Dakota State, North Dakota State trip. I mean, that was awful. It was, one time we got off the bus, and North Dakota State had this old barn, and they, a lot of places the bus goes right up underneath, and you get out, and like even at Oakland, it goes into that back alley
right,
there, and then they get out, they walk right into the place, right? Well, we had about a 50-yard walk from where they dropped us off to go into the building, and it was minus 33 degrees. It wasn't minus 33 wind chill. It was minus 33 degrees.
Minus 58 wind chill, for those that were curious, because I remember.
And if you've ever been in that weather, you wouldn't forget it.
Correct.
everything inside your nose was frozen by
and it burns.
Yes,
Yeah.
and you're down your throat, your mouth, and we had to go to, and then finding the place to eat in Brookings, South Carolina, after a game, because there's no hotel that's going to feed you.
Right.
And I think we ended up in an all-night Denny's is where we.
Oh, yes.
Seriously, that's
South
probably
Dakota,
probably the only place open is an all-night Denny's, and you're getting a Slim Jim with tomatoes from who knows where those tomatoes come from, because they weren't grown. They weren't grown in Brookings, South Dakota.
Yeah.
And then you get on a bus and you drive up to Fargo
in a straight line for 4 hours. Yeah.
And if you remember the movie Fargo, that's exactly what we saw when we. That was the worst trip you could possibly go on.
Camp, I remember watching the local news on that trip. I remember that. And like they were doing the news and they were getting ready to go to commercial and they say, and later on we're going to have weather. And just a reminder, there's severe wind chill tonight, risk of death in about 8 minutes. And next is Bob with sports. And I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
You just said you could die if you're stuck outside for 8 minutes and we're just going to go to Bob with sports. Yeah. Like that's what we're going to do. Okay. But no, it was like that.
And I'll tell you, excuse me, and I'll tell you, I really like Sioux Falls. I thought Sioux Falls was a really cool place, and I would go to Sioux Falls. Brookings? No. Fargo? No.
All right.
Their summer must be 4 days.
If there is one, yeah.
I mean,
if there
you
is
play
one.
golf for 4 days there, maybe.
Yeah. Rolling on here with the hashtag AskCampy. Matt, who enjoys Horizon League basketball, Ask Campy. Does someone on the staff have to run a lap or something for the official book air in Green Bay on Sunday? Oops, MJ and Yellow 33.
Yeah, that was probably a mistake on Colin's part. He really screwed that one up. So basically, what happened is MJ was going to redshirt, right? And the gold alternate uniform had come in late, and I told him, well, don't spend the money on either the Jaegers and on Mo and the guys that are redshirting. Don't spend the money in having that uniform made, because next year they might want to wear a different number. They might be in the portal. They might not be here. They might, want to wear 50 or something like that. So just leave those uniforms blank. And then when we decided to play him, when Nassim went down and we had to, and Nate went down and we had to have a ninth player, we brought him out of red shirt. He didn't have a gold uniform. So, Colin came to me and said, well, we don't have a gold uniform. I go, yeah, just use the blood uniform for him. And you've got to remember that when we play that game, that you've got to change the book, right? And we played a couple games in the gold, and we did that, and we just didn't do it. And, I looked at Smitty, and Smitty was dumbfounded. He didn't, And then I looked at Colin, and he looked like that cat that, like my dog when it's done something wrong. But I mean, it's a one shot.
Right.
It wasn't. It wasn't anything. Actually, it was kind of fun because I went down to the scorers table. I get to know these scorers tables at all these places, and so I have kind of a little bit of the relationship with the Green Bay scorer table. And so the guy's like, I can't fix this. And he goes, what's the guy's name? Well, MJ was in the book. He just had his number 5, not 33. But I didn't know that. I thought we just didn't put him in. So the scorer guy says to me, he goes, well, what's his name? And I looked at him. I looked back at Smitty, and I go, I don't know. I go, we just picked him up from the pickup game that was in the gym over there because we didn't know if we had enough players. And he's looking at me. He thought I was serious. Oh, man, yeah. We made it fun. Yeah. So nobody, it's good it happened there, because now it will never happen again.
And that's also true. Gary Gilbert with the hashtag AskCampy. If you can beat IU Indy on Wednesday, Detroit is next, coming up this weekend on Saturday, by the way. You said you no longer circle Detroit on the calendar. What will you tell your team about this rivalry?
Well, we're not going to say a word about it until after tomorrow night, because that's a very important game for us tomorrow night. We've got to win that game if we're going to continue this little run we're on and stay in second place and all that kind of stuff. But, one of the things we started this last year, but this is the first year that I've never really brought up Detroit other than, we have a rule you can't wear anything red. They come to me with shoes. Over the years, we've changed a lot of our rules. I go back to that statement, I'd rather be happy than right. So I don't. Steph Curry won the MVP playing in purple shoes. I think Mike Hogue's shoes are ugly as. I think Brody Robinson's shoes are ugly. I can't understand why they're wearing them, but they make them happy. And if Mike Hogue's happy, I'm happy, okay? But I won't let them wear red. So they'll show up with red, a little bit of red here and there. Why? It's only a little. No, you take a black pen and. So they know that, but I have not discussed Detroit with them like, every other year, 130 days and we play Detroit, 90 days till we play Detroit, that type of stuff. We're not doing that anymore. And I think I told everybody the reason why is we always lost the next game. Win that game every time, then we always lose the next game because we put so much into it. And so we'll put a lot into it from Thursday till Saturday. and they'll hear the story and they'll understand how the rivalry became the rivalry. And it's not the Metro Cup. There's a backstory to it all. And they'll hear the backstory and they'll understand. And, we've won maybe 11 years in a row in that building, which is I think Marquette had won 8 years in a row there, and we beat that a few years ago. And they'll hear about how important that is to the guys that won those 11 games. And we'll preach that, but surely not until Thursday.
I always get the text or the direct message from Kay Felder every year. As I'm sure you do too.
Our players that lived through those early years of that. And, that rivalry, it was bitter and harsh. And, I remember the first game we won there. There were 700, 800, maybe 1,000 Oakland fans in the stands. We took buses, and there were 6,000, 7,000 people at that game.
Right. And
they've hit a little thing that where they dropped down, and it kind of there's only 2,000 or 3,000. It's still the biggest game they have at home, but it's only 2,000 or 3,000 now. I'm hoping it gets back. Montgomery's doing a hell of a job there. They're 5-4. They've got a good basketball team. They've got a good young basketball team. They've got a great player at the point. They're a formidable foe. And, I'm hoping it gets back to the days that there's 6,000, 7,000 people there.
Austin Davis on Twitter with the hashtag #AskCampe. I noticed you didn't have a seat during the Green Bay game. Did the 4 fans sitting directly beside you play a role in that?
No, I let them pick plays as the game went on. There were 4 students, too, and I said, your daddy must be pretty rich. And he goes, yep. So, when you have a situation like that, you befriend those people, The best story, I'll finish that first. So they're talking to Smitty during the game, and I'm talking to him, and I'm making jokes with them and stuff like that. And, like one guy said, well, this game's not over. And I looked at him and go, yes, it is. He couldn't believe I said, there are still 3 or 4 minutes to go in the game. I go, yes, it is. So with about 8 minutes to go, I gave him the play sheet, said pick a play. And he didn't know what was what. He goes, I want Pepsi or Coke. I go, well, they're just separate plays. Which one do you want? He goes, who gets the ball? And I go, well, 12 gets it in this play, and Isaac gets it in this play. And so they picked the one with Baru, and Baru screwed it up. And I looked at him, I said, well, that's why I don't call that play. So, but those 4 guys are saying that. The funniest one, though, is, so the Milwaukee game, and we get a lot of this since we beat Kentucky. We get this everywhere we go now because everybody loves Oakland. Oakland is, we made a name for ourselves. And so the bus pulls up at Milwaukee to go in underneath, And I get out of the bus, and there's a fan there, and he's got, you can tell when you walk out, they've got the, real nice glossy photograph. And he walks up to me, and he goes, "Well, he's not sure. What's your name?" Put his name, Mike, blah, 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 blah. He goes, "Can you say something nice?" I go, "Sure. Go Grizz," something. I can't remember what I wrote, but something, and sign my name. And then he hands me a bag, and it's got a Diet Dr. Pepper in it. All right. And I said, "Thank you." And he goes, "Okay, we're going to kick your ass tonight." And then we get in, and he's sitting in row 1 behind our bench, and he's killing us. I mean, Brew said something I kind of heard it out. Brew didn't have a real good night, and I heard Brew say something that I couldn't believe came out of Brew's mouth, and I turned around and looked, and I asked Smitty later. I said, "Yeah, he said it to that kid." I'm not going to tell you what he said.
It's a family show, Camp.
And I would never say anything like that.
Right.
And then after the game, I walked over to him, and I put my hand on. He goes, "Coach, you guys are really good, man. I really enjoyed watching you play. Thanks for signing my thing." He killed us.
Yeah.
I mean, it was unbelievable.
Somebody that was the guy that you guys heard. If you were listening to radio, that was the guy that you guys heard on the radio feed. That was him.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, he's sitting in row 1 all by himself, and he didn't shut up the whole game. But Mike, if you're listening tonight, I appreciate the Diet Dr. Pepper. And after we kicked your ass, I drank it.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. Last one here from our guy Bobby Ellman. Camp, this bowling competition's getting hot. The only real talk will come at the end with the results. # Newell versus Kampe. So there you go. We got to get that happening, Camp. Maybe we'll get a pay-per-view. Maybe Netflix will pick that up or something.
Battle of the Sexes.
Yeah, absolutely. And the prize money goes to the NIL fund or something like that. There you go. Hey, I could see that. I could see that one playing out for sure.
I'd probably choke.
All right, Camp, let's do this. Let's take the last break of the show. When we come back, we'll take a look at the games at hand. This is the Greg Kampe Show. We're live at Patti Finnegan's on the campus of Oakland University.
In every moment, in every shared smile, OU Credit Union Visa Signature Card is there, earning 3% cash back on groceries to stock their dorm room, 2% back on fueling up the tank for the journey ahead. With a $100 welcome offer and the first year's annual fee waived, it's more than just a card. It's your partner in making every moment count, even the ones that tug at your heartstrings. Make every moment and every mile more rewarding with an OU Credit Union Visa Signature Card.
Because every athlete deserves to be treated like a pro. Henry Ford Sports Medicine.
Welcome back inside Patti Finnegan's here on the campus of Oakland University. It is the Greg Kampe Show. My name is Neil Rule, the voice of the Golden Grizzlies. Of course, he is a coach, Greg Kampe. Happy to have everybody out on a very frigid Tuesday evening. But Camp, go ahead.
I have one thing to say from the last. Mike in Milwaukee,
yes.
If you are listening and your team doesn't make it to Indianapolis and Oakland does, I have tickets for you right behind our bench. No, I'm going to get them right behind our opponent's bench. And I need you, man.
All right, so there you go.
I need you there.
I love it. So, Mike, if you're listening, you got a seat for you, guaranteed, no matter what. Camp tomorrow, IU Indy here in town. Going to be good to be back on the home floor after what felt like a week-long road trip. That was almost a week long, but it'll be good to be back on the blacktop at the arena.
Yeah, and especially after what happened the last time we were on it. You know, it's full house. Played one of the worst first halves of any team I've ever coached. But, you know, you're going to look back at that, and if things work out for us, you're going to look back at that and say, look at how they played in the second half, and then look at how 1 didn't become 2, 2 didn't become 3. They went on the road and swept Wisconsin. And it's, we talk all the time. You're going to, you know, something bad's around the corner. You're going to get knocked on your butt, and you got to pick yourself up, and you got to do it the right way. You know, you've got to pick yourself up and wipe yourself off and get back in there and not feel sorry for yourself or, oh, wow, why did this happen? And they didn't. They got back in the fray, and they played their tails off. So I feel real good about it. I think we'll perform really well tomorrow night because I think we're anxious to get back in front of our fans. I got a real nice note from the – and I've been here 42 years, and this has never happened before. I got a real nice note from the president of the senior – or I don't know, was it student body president? Is he the senior class president? I don't know. What do they – is he the student body president? Yeah. Is that what it is? Yeah. Got a really nice note from him today about, you know, don't be upset about the loss. We you know, students believe in you. We believe in you. I've never gotten anything like that before, so that moved me a little bit, and it made me even want to play better. You know, I don't get to play, but
makes you want to coach better, right?
That can't happen. But and I don't mean that like it's so good. All right, our players overcome a lot. But you know, we want to get back out there and play on that blacktop and you know, show who we are. And you know, you're going to have a couple of those. How can you react to them? So,
Camp, tell everybody about the IU Indy Jaguars. At least this year's version of them. They have a new coach. Selfishly, Camp, this is one of the games that, you know, I've kind of been looking forward to on the schedule because I've told you, but I like this stuff. I like the 95 to 90 games. We're running up and down the floor and all that kind of stuff. And there's a very good chance it could be that.
Yeah, I mean, we've got to play smart. We don't want to get caught up in, you know, their philosophy is they're going to press. And I mean really press everything. And they're going to run two at the ball. You're dribbling the ball. Brody's going to be dribbling the ball up the floor, and 3 people are going to be running at him, trying to tip it away, knock it away from him. I think in league play, they've created 95 turnovers, and while their opponents have only created 45 or 50 or some number like that. It's a very stark number. And then on offense, they want to shoot the ball in the first 10 or 15 seconds of the shot clock. They want to score. You know, they want the game to be 120 to 110. He was a Division II coach that had a lot of success playing that way. He does not have, I'm sure if I'm a IU Indy fan or, you know, administrator there, he does not have the personnel yet that he's recruited at that level. So when it's not going in for him, they struggle a little bit. But they stay, you know, he's pretty impressive in that they stay true to what they do. They're going to play that way, and they're going to build, you know. And in this day and age, you don't see that much. You know, people are so intent on the now and the moment and winning now. And that doesn't mean they don't want to, but they're not going to change what they do because they're outsized or they're out talented, you know. And so over the next 3 or 4 years, I think you're going to see this guy. Players going to want to play in that system, and they're going to get very interesting and very good, I think, because it's a unique system. The last time that we played against somebody that did that, we won 189 to 109. So, you know, that was a long time ago. I don't know if anybody in this building remembers that game. I got in a lot of trouble because everybody thought I ran the score up. We didn't play Ty McGregor and Tom Eller didn't play, our 2 best players. We had just, as a Division II school, we had just beaten Toledo by 25 at Toledo. That's how good our team was. And we went to Madonna to play at Madonna, and that's how they played. It was back in the Paul Westhead, Loyola Marymount days. They were playing, you know. People remember when Michigan lost to Loyola Marymount in the NCAA tournament, 120 to something.
I think they got in the 140s, actually.
Yeah.
Is that what it was? Yeah.
Yeah. But the guy at Madonna didn't have Hank Gathers and Bo Kimball.
Bo Kimball, that is true.
No, he didn't have those 2 guys. They were trying to play like that, and Do we have time? I can tell my worst coaching story. All right, this is who I am.
It's one of the few times we have time for it, Camp. Go ahead.
Yeah, now you got to remember, this is 1990 or something, 88 or 89. So I was still pretty young. But we had a chance. We made, our two best players didn't play. We made 27 threes in that game, and we scored 80-some points in the first half or whatever. And with about 30 seconds to go, 20 seconds to go, we had scored 98 points in the second half. And nobody had ever scored 100. At that time, nobody had ever scored 100 points in a half. So they had the ball with about 15 seconds to go, and they were kind of just dribbling it out. I went, hey, foul him. So we went and fouled. We got the ball back and got a wide open shot from about 7 feet and missed it. And I think, again, the basketball gods reached down on me. That's one of the low moments of my coaching career that we did that. But, yeah, it was 189. I think 189 to 108 or something like that.
You remember how many possessions that game was?
No. No, it was a lot. But I do remember this. Because the top two players didn't play, that meant the 9th and 10th guys got to play a lot. And one of the 9th and 10th guys had 35.
Yeah.
He probably thought he should be playing. That did not go well the rest of the year,
Yeah.
So you get what you ask for.
But speaking to that, Camp, I mean, they played at Ohio State to open the year. They scored 102 points.
Right. What was the final? 120?
118, 102.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're capable. The ball's going in for them. They're capable. I mean, they could come in here and beat us. So we've got to guard. We've got to. We can't just get into a game where we beat the press and shoot a three, right? They're not real big. They got some height, but they're not real physical. So we've got our bigs have got to score at the rim, and we can't just come down and shoot it. We've got to make sure they guard us.
But, Camp, how do you do that if they run two guys at Brody and the game gets kind of ragtag and gets moving fast? How do you circle the wagons back and run your stuff?
You put Coy in, and Brody throws it to Coy, and Coy gets us into our stuff. That's what you do.
And then Saturday, it's about 2 minutes left, obviously, Saturday.
And then the other thing you do is when we start firing threes, we go, no! Oh, yeah, good shot.
Yeah, absolutely. They're all good when they go in, Camp.
Right.
Yeah, they're all good. There's never been a bad shot that went in, right?
Right.
Yeah. Then Saturday, obviously, we'd love to see everybody, as many folks as can come out to Callahan.
Yeah, we need you there.
Yeah.
We need a big presence in that building. They're good. They're good. They're 5-4 in the league. They're good. It's not going to be what it's been. It's going to be a real basketball game.
Well, what's working for them? What's working for Detroit?
They got size. They got kid from Catholic Central that can really shoot it. They've got one of the best point guards, in the league. They guard. It's going to be hard to score against them, and they're going to be very motivated. So it's going to be a really tough basketball game.
What do you do to stay warm during this cold, Camp? Is there some food you make or something like that?
73
in the house.
73 on the little thing.
The thermostat.
Yep. You'll stay really warm if you put it at 73.
Final 60 seconds of the show, Camp. Anything else you got before we ride out?
No, man. This is we normally don't have time at the end.
No.
So.
You asked if we had time. We did, as a matter of fact. Thank you to everybody that came on. I know it's freezing cold out. This place is packed tonight, by the way. And also, to a big thank you to Keisha Newell for coming on.
And great win.
As well. Yeah, great win for the Metro Series. That will do it for tonight's show. For the head coach, Greg Kampe, our producer back in the studio, Bobby Allman, I'm Neil Rowe. Thanks for listening, everybody. Have a great night. Well, see you later.